Are you ready to step into the new year with clarity, excitement, and a bold creative vision? In today's episode, we're exploring how to align your artistic passion with purpose so you can create work that inspires you and others in the year ahead. Whether you're feeling stuck or ready to dream bigger, this episode will guide you toward crafting your creative North Star. Let's dive in. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Welcome to the Thriving Creative. I'm your host, Gabrielle Senza, and today we're kicking off season 2 with a topic that's all about starting the year with purpose and intention, artistic vision. This episode is part of our January theme, Reignite Your Creative Vision. Whether you're a seasoned artist or just beginning to explore your creativity, clarifying your vision is the foundation for making meaningful, fulfilling work. And as Vincent van Gogh once said, what would life be if we had no courage to attempt anything? I suspect, my friends, this year we are going to need a lot of courage to attempt a lot of things that we may not have anticipated, even imagining to begin or attempt. And I think it'll serve us really well. So let's go on this adventure together. Today, we're diving into what it means to create with purpose and passion, and I'll share actionable steps to help you craft your artistic vision for the year ahead. Let's start with the basics. What is artistic vision? For me, artistic vision is like a North Star. It's the guiding light that shapes your creative choices and keeps you grounded when life gets messy. Like today, for example. It's not just about what you create, it's about why you create and the impact you want your work to have. Your artistic vision doesn't have to be huge or revolutionary, it just needs to feel authentic to you. Maybe your vision is about telling untold stories, sparking joy, or exploring beauty. For me, my artistic vision often revolves around making the invisible visible, whether through my invisibility lab work or the projects I create to highlight social and environmental issues. So take a moment and think about these two questions. What do you feel called to create this year? And why does it matter to you? What do you feel called to create this year? And why does it matter to you? Take a moment. You can even pause the video. I will still be here to jot down the first thing that comes to you. Your answers will begin to shape your vision. Now let's talk about purpose. Purpose is the fuel behind your artistic vision. It's what gives it depth and meaning. For me and my work around making the invisible visible comes from my personal experience of having grown up feeling invisible to some who I really wanted love and care from, and feeling all too visible to people who gave me the wrong kind of attention and wanted the wrong kinds of things from me. And so I have continued to explore the themes of visibility and invisible things, what's hidden, what matters, what what uh, what do different entities try to hide from us, and what happens when we make the discoveries on our own and perhaps band together, join together to create change that's really needed and necessary for the health of our environment, for our communities, for ourselves, for our families. So that's sort of the purpose behind my work and why I do what I do around invisibility. This is a little bit of a squeaky chair. So anyway, here's a short exercise to help you connect to your purpose. So this is fun. Imagine it's a year from now. It's January of 2026, and we've gone through all of 2025. You've created work that you're really proud of, and you've received encouraging responses to your work. So you're feeling really good about your work. Now, imagine in your mind's eye, what does that work look like? what makes it meaningful? And who does it connect with? And how does it make them feel? So you're imagining a year from now, you've been hard at work for the year, creating work that's really meaningful to you, really powerful in whatever form. It could be, like we said earlier, about sparking joy. It could be writing, it could be dancing, it could be painting, it could be, looking into beauty, anything that you have created a body of work around. What does that work look like? What makes it meaningful? And who does it connect with? How does it make them feel? So just sort of imagine into that and see what comes to you as you think about that. And hello, Jonathan. Thanks for tuning in. So, when you align your vision with purpose, your work takes on a new level of clarity and intention. So, for example, I once worked with a creative who was passionate about addressing climate change, but they felt really overwhelmed. But once we connected the work to her purpose, really what like was driving her to make this work, which really was using art to inspire small tangible actions, her project more focused and she started creating work that deeply resonated with her audience. Purpose gives your vision focus and momentum. It helps you move from dreaming to doing. By the way, I just want to say that I'm not going to open the Zoom room right now because of the recording and it's a little bit funky today. So if you have a question for me, pop it into the comment section here in Facebook because I do have my comment window open and I can answer any questions there. Okay? So I or thoughts or opinions or whatever you have to share. So I would love that. Okay, so back to my notes here. I'm trying not to let it go too long. Um, so we just were reflecting on what that work looks like that you've created, what makes it meaningful, who is it connecting with, how does it make them feel? And that gives us this idea about joining our purpose with our vision and what really matters to us. Okay, so again, purpose gives your vision focus and momentum, and it helps you move from dreaming to doing. So now that you're clear on the importance of vision and purpose, let's get practical. How do you craft your artistic vision for the year ahead? Now, we're almost, well, it's January 7th, so we're 7 days into the new year. And I've spent much of these 7 days really working out my plan of action for the year. I typically want to do way more than is possible for one human to do in a year's time. And I inevitably want to do so many things all at once. And then it's really hard to kind of keep momentum going in that case when I don't create structures that can support movement in each of these projects, right? So I've made a promise to myself that I won't overload myself with too many goals for the year, and that above all else, I will create structures that will allow me to work within them in order to move forward the projects that I'm working on. For example, my data sonification project that some of you have so generously supported, and I am so grateful to you for that. That is a project that I really want to complete this year so that I can premiere it. Oh, look at the sun. Yay! The sun is coming in. So, so in order to do that, I need to make sure I'm touching that project, I'm moving that project forward every single day. So I'll be using my morning power hours, which is part of the Create Collective community structure that I've created. So I will be working on Invisibility Lab projects, creating that data sonification project forward um, each weekday morning for about 60 to 90 minutes. And so I know I will make progress on it in that way. And we will be able to see something for the effort further down the road in the year ahead. Now, I also want to move forward some of my Terra Luna projects. And uh, what was the other one? Well, Antarctica Temporalis, they're very, very related. So sometimes I think of them as two separate projects, sometimes I think of them as one. But the point is, uh, creating time in my calendar to be able to work on them. And for me, as many of you have probably heard, uh, multiple times, I really love accountability, spaces that I will show up in because someone else is going to be there. Okay. And generally it can be with a accountability partner or a group setting, like I've set up with the daily morning power hours and so on. So that's really key for me. So think about these three steps on how to craft your artistic vision for the year ahead. Okay. So step number one, reflect on your why. Why do I create? What drives me to show up again and again? Think about that. Is it pleasure? Is it the flow? Is it the state of mind that you drop into? Is it the playing with color? Is it the mixing of color? Is it the playing with words and creating poetry or dance or movement? Like what drives you to show up? What is it that lights you up there? Number two, define your big picture. Imagine your dream creative year. If nothing were holding you back, what would you create? Be bold here. Okay, this is really fun. Just allow yourself to dream big and play with it. You can even do multiple things if you want to, but allow yourself to dream big. You have no restrictions. What is it you would create in this year if nothing were holding you back? And number three, break it down. Big visions can feel overwhelming. Case in point, I experience that a lot. So identify one or two projects or goals that align with your vision, and then ask, what's the one small step? What's one small step I can take this month? What's one small step I can take this month? For me, one small step is creating structures in my calendar that will allow me to work on each of my projects and move them forward this year so that in my big vision, the big piece will be complete. I'll have the premiere at the end of the year with the Invisibility Lab data sonification project, and and ideally, I will also take Terra Luna into new spaces like children's museums, public libraries, and nature centers, perhaps. I really would love to facilitate some forest bathing experiences and some other things I have in mind. So stay tuned. If I put time into each of these projects each week, I will definitely see some of these things happening and coming to fruition. So those are the three steps. Reflect on your why. Why do you create? Define your big picture. Imagine your whole dream creative year. And three, break it down into small tasks and ask yourself, what's one small step I can take this month? And each month you can take another step towards it. So yes, I shared that for me, one of my visions this year is to expand the Invisibility Lab also into new spaces, collaborating with voices and communities that have unique stories to share. That's very exciting as well. And so my first step is reaching out to potential collaborators and drafting a new proposal for these other spaces. Maggie, bonjour. Thanks for joining. I'm so glad you're here. If you have any questions about creating your perfect year of creative work, pop it in there. Yay, I love the community conversation happening here. Okay, so let's see what's else. Looking at my notes here again, don't want to go too far off track. So remember, your vision doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to move you forward, right? So sometimes I know so many people that have the all or nothing kind of mindset, which usually keeps them grounded and not moving forward at all. Where they're like, if I don't have X, Y, and Z, or if I have to work this job, or if I don't have the best camera, or I don't have this or that, then I can't produce what I want to produce. Well, to me, I think that's total BS. There's always a will. If there's a will, there's a way. So if you find voices in your head that are saying you can't because, just put them aside, take a deep breath, and ask, okay, what's one small thing I can do? I know you can do it. You totally can do it. Okay, so clarifying your vision is exciting, right? But staying aligned with it can be challenging. Doubt, distractions, comparison can creep in, and they can kind of try to derail you, but you've got this. Don't let them. Okay, here are 3 ways to overcome those challenges. First, reconnect to your vision regularly. Write down your vision and keep it visible on your studio wall, in a journal, or even as a digital reminder. I actually just put mine on my phone recently, and without all these other notifications, I can see it quite clearly. And it can remind me, like, what am I up to this year? Oh, yeah, that. Okay, so I totally encourage you to do that. Number 2, celebrate progress, not perfection. Your creative vision is a journey, not a destination. So celebrate the small wins along the way. And 3, find support. Share your vision with a trusted friend, a mentor, a creative group. Their encouragement can help keep you motivated. And that is actually one of the things I love most about the Create Collective. And this is why I created the Create Collective, which is my membership community for artists, musicians, any creative entrepreneurs, heart-centered entrepreneurs. We literally gather weekday mornings to get started, hold each other accountable. We hold each other's visions in our hearts, and we celebrate all of the small steps that get us closer to realizing each and every one of these goals that we have. And it's a really beautiful community, wonderful people, very positive, and we're all familiar with the challenges of working alone on creative projects. And that's why I created the group, so that I have a place to go to and others have a place to go to, and we can support each other, holding each other accountable in the most gentlest, loving way, you know? And it's been really amazing. In fact, the things that we've each completed this year, this past year, is phenomenal. It's so wonderful. So if you want to look into joining, just send me a message. I'll get you the information, and I'll try to remember to put them in the show notes and in the Facebook comment section, I suppose, is where I would put them. Okay, to wrap up, we're getting close. Remember, your vision is yours. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Trust your instincts and keep going. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Your artistic vision is a powerful tool. It's not just about what you create, but how you show up in the world. Take a moment today to reflect. What is my creative vision for the year ahead? How can I align it with my purpose and passion? Write it down, share it, and make it real. You can share it here in the comments. You can share it over in YouTube land once I get the video uploaded. You can share it there. You can send me a note. You know, I can be your accountability partner if you just want to shoot me a message. I'm here for it. Okay, and here's something else. If you're ready to dive deeper into this work, join me for this month's Lunch and Learn workshop, which happens on the third Thursday of the month. This is new for 2025. I'm going to try this out, a Lunch and Learn workshop. This one's called Creative Vision Mapping, How to Build a Roadmap for Your Artistic and Financial Goals. So it's happening on Thursday, January 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern. There will be a Zoom link. I will make an Eventbrite so you can register there. The links will go into the comment section and in the show notes. So together we'll take your vision to the next level with actionable steps and community support. Check out the show notes for details. I will get them in there just as soon as I can. So, my friends, thank you for tuning in to The Thriving Creative. I hope today's episode inspired you to dream big, reflect deeply, and create with intention. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a fellow creative, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps us reach more amazing listeners like you. So until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep thriving. I'll see you next week.